Hi all, welcome back to Claude Code course. So this is episode number 6 where we'll be talking about your third use of Claude Code. So in this episode we are going to look at how to explore existing code base using Claude Code. So as we have seen in previous set of videos, we have set up Claude account with Pro subscription. We have installed Claude Code in a Windows, and we also saw how to log into Claude Code. So now let me jump directly into VS Code, wherein I have actually set up a code base. So basically, I have cloned Spring A project into my VS Code now, and now I'm going to explore Claude Code and its capability to understand the code base and help me to basically understand the entire Spring A ecosystem, right? So the first thing we need to do is that we need to run a command which will basically allow Claude to explore the code base, right? So what I'll do is I'll just type slash init. So what this will do is it says initialize a new claude.md file with code base documentation. So Claude behind the scenes is going to explore the code base and it will create a claude.md file with some kind of documentation explaining the code base, right? So let's see what happens now. So this is one way, or this is the starting way to understand your existing code base. So let's see. So I have entered a slash in it. So it says analyzing your code base. It says I'll analyze this code base to create a comprehensive claude.md file. Let me start by exploring the repository structure and key files, right? So basically, it's doing a lot of these commands. You can see that there are some pattern recognition happening here, and then it's looking at POM. It is looking like README. Okay, now it says let me explore the code base to understand the architecture better. So one very good thing, at least from Claude Code, my impression is that it is saying what it is doing, right? So it is not something which is invisible. So it is saying, okay, this is what I'm doing now, and I'm just letting you know what I'm doing. So it is exploring. Now it is saying, okay, now let me explore some key architectural files to understand the structure better. So it has tried to explore few more set of files, and here it is checking if there is already claude.md file present or not. Then it's trying to open this file, and then it's saying let me read few more files. Let me check for test patterns. So what about the testing, right? Okay, now it is saying that now I have enough information to create a comprehensive claude.md file. Let me create it. So it now it is prompting and asking me, do you want to make this edit to claude.md? So what I will say is the second option, yes, allow all edits. So keep in mind about the second option, because most of the time what would happen is it will try to edit and it will prompt and it will ask you the permission. Can I go ahead and make an edit? So this will be a little bit intrusive. So the second option is slightly better, right? And yeah, just small note. So if you are planning to use Claude Code, let's say for personal projects, I think you can well you can just go ahead and do it, because you are free to do it because you are using a Claude account, your personal Claude account, and moreover for your personal project, right? But a small note, for example, if you are working for a company and there is a proprietary code, so please ensure that you actually um, get some permission, or you can check with the management if there is already some kind of Claude Code setup which you can use for your projects. Because there is always this something about the privacy policy, right? Because um, the your code metadata is actually going to the Claude model, right? So now for this video, I've just taken an open source project just for the sake of going through this how it works, right? But in your case, if you are using your company's project code, please talk to your management so that you are doing things the right way, right? Okay, now let me get back to exploring the code base. So now I'll say yes, allow all edits, right? So I'm just pressing enter here. Okay, now it has kind of created claude.md file. I just need to see if, let me refresh, and okay, it's really a comprehensive. User rejected to write. Okay, I do not know why. Okay, accepted. It's on. Wait. Okay, I'm saying please go ahead and create claude.md file. For some reason, it has recognized that I have rejected, but let's see. Yeah, here you can see that a lot of tokens are it's basically about the response, right? The response which you get from a Claude. These are the number of tokens, or you can see it's basically the token usage. So almost 1,000 tokens are being used here. Yeah, yeah, I can see the file here, claude.md. So it has started writing, and I guess maybe I can just go ahead and have a look at it. Yes. Okay, okay. So yeah. So at a very high level, it has basically it has created the Claude MD file for our Spring AI repository, right? So what I'll do is now as a software developer, I can basically look at this file, right? So imagine you have a legacy code base, and you have very few senior developers in the team, and most of the time senior developers are busy with critical tasks, right? So you can actually use Claude Code, and then you can run this command. It'll understand the code base, and then it'll try to create a summary, and you can go through it. And so this is the starting step, right? So this is a very key part, key section of this document. So now I can see that, okay, what are the core modules? So there is commons, it's about utilities, and there is a model, it's about model abstractions. So you can basically have multiple providers, like for embedding you could have a different providers, OpenAI, or it could be Amazon, right? Or it could be Cohere. For chat, you could have different LLM providers. So Spring AI model, I can assume that, okay, there are some classes which are abstracting out the capabilities of models, and Spring AI client chat, right? So this gives me some high level understanding, or I would say high level overview of all the modules present, and it is trying to explain a little bit more what are all the list of AI models or model providers. So, for example, I might be curious what models Spring AI has an integration with, right? So, and then it says about embedding models and all that. Then what about the vector store, right? So I could be curious. So let's say I want to know about Elasticsearch. So I just want to know if Elasticsearch is supported. Probably I can ask a question here. So maybe I'll put in the chat here. So let me just go through this claude.md file. So to scan the auto configuration about the Spring Boot starter and what are the other modules and all that. So and so it's also able to get some kind of patterns. What kind of patterns? So this says recurring generative AI patterns, right? So so you can learn a lot from this claude.md file basically, and then it says what are the design principles, right? So this is a very good file which you get analyzed by claude.md, right? So now let me start exploring a little bit more, right? Because I want to know, does Spring AI support Elasticsearch vector store, right? Okay. So now it says it is actually going to claude.md. It says yes, Spring AI does support Elasticsearch store. I saw it during my codebase analysis. It is actually showing the package. It says Spring AI fully supports Elasticsearch as a vector store. Here's what's available. So it's also giving me the folder where the implementation is, and what about auto configuration and all that. And so it is helping me, right? And yeah. Okay, now this is something like a feedback. How is Claude doing this session? So I can say it's doing good, right? Oh, just taken the feedback and okay, fine. Yeah. So I guess in this video, I would say I just want to conclude by stating that so there are two things to start with exploring a code base. One is you can run the command slash init, which will analyze your code base and then create this claude.md file, which summarizes your project. What are the design patterns? What are the architectural patterns? What are the key modules? Right? It actually summarizes. So anybody who is new to the project, or even if somebody is experienced with the project, can get a high level summary of the entire code base, right? And then the best part is you can ask questions about the project, because now that it has got some kind of understanding, you can ask questions and it will go and figure out what what is there and where it needs to make changes and all that, right? So yeah, so this brings to the end of this video, where I wanted to focus on code base exploration. Yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.